Shut up.
I just wanted to say hi to.
Shut up. Face the wall. Turn around. Turn around. What's the movement, sir? Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Yeah. And you weren't really sparring. You were fighting. We were fighting all the time. And just guys getting dropped all the time. And that was just the kind of gym that I was in.
But this wasn't a real fight. He was pulling punches. He wasn't giving it his full effort.
Joe Rogan reacts to the rumored arrest of Jake Paul over allegedly scripting boxing fights. Rogan stresses that no career milestone is worth putting one's life at risk. He warns that the dangers of boxing are real and should never be treated lightly. According to reports, Rogan believes Paul must reconsider his decisions before stepping into the ring again, as chasing fame or money through risky fights is not worth the potential consequences.
Probably seen some of the controversy he's been facing.
Joe Rogan emphasized that boxing is extremely dangerous and continuing to fight recklessly could have severe consequences. He also warned that engaging in illegal or scripted activities could lead to legal action against the fighter.
Because then you can't think, you can't do things, you don't know what the fuck you're doing in life. It's like literally everything is the quality of your ability to think. And
Nikisa Badarian has clarified that neither Jake Paul nor his team engaged in any wrongdoing or attempted to rig the fight. He addressed the widespread rumors claiming the bout with Anthony Joshua was scripted, calling them completely false. According to Nikisa, people online made astonishing claims, including a post suggesting there was an agreement for Joshua not to knock out Paul. He explained that Joshua fought genuinely and decisively, disregarding any alleged arrangement. Nikisa emphasized that Jake trained, competed, and took real risks in the ring. He also noted that legal action is being taken against individuals spreading these false narratives. For Nikisa, this clarification is crucial to protect the reputations of both Jake and his team, making it clear to fans and critics alike that the fight was legitimate and unscripted, and any notion of a fixed outcome is entirely baseless.
In the script, rigged, this, that, and the other. Do you think now, at the very least, that talk goes away? Broke his jaw, went in there against Anthony Joshua. At the very least, do you think that you guys can move on from that? Like, that won't follow you?
No, I don't. I actually, our lawyers are actively going after a number of people. One who claims to be a lawyer himself online. I don't remember the name or the handle, but it was something that had like 200,000 likes. And basically this post said there was an agreement for AJ not to knock out Jake, but AJ disregarded the agreement and decided to not get his payday, but knock out Jake Paul. So it's pretty astonishing what people say. Your dear friend Lou DiBella, saw him put up a bunch of ridiculous things and even said, Nikisa, go ahead and sue me. But this wasn't a real fight. He was pulling punches. He wasn't giving it his full effort.
And so for the people, again, just to clear this up, because I asked Eddie this question, I'll ask you the exact same question. Once and for all, was there any sort of arrangement as far as it should go this many rounds? Because that's the one that I've heard. Oh, Anthony agreed to 3 rounds, 4 rounds. Can you tell us in black and white if there were any talks of any kind between the network, the promotion, the fighter?
There has never once in Jake Paul's career been any talk of that sort, of anything to do with the fight being anything but a real fight that has exactly the same situation as any professional fight. And that's exactly the same thing here for the Anthony Joshua fight. It's just beyond mind-blowing that people would think that. Anthony Joshua was on record saying that if he didn't finish him in the first round, that would be disappointing, that it would be a failure. The narrative changed as we got closer to fight night and obviously post-fight, and I understand why, but they were pretty adamant it would take max 2 rounds.
Joe Rogan has already warned Jake Paul not to do anything reckless like this again. He strongly cautioned him to reconsider taking high-risk boxing matches, emphasizing that no career milestone is worth risking one's life. Rogan stressed that the dangers of the ring are very real and pursuing staged or dangerous fights for fame or money could have serious consequences. Safety and responsibility must come first for any fighter.
Look at all them celebrities like dude from the Mighty Ducks, the little boy actor that got strung out on drugs. And all his fronts and all his teeth were missing from being on meth or whatever, whatever drug of choice he was on. There's no coming back from that. The people who dissipate their teeth through drug usage, you don't get a second set. So if I'm not mistaken, the dude from Mighty Ducks, somebody he's been clean and they gave him a makeover and he has pretty much fake teeth. So yeah, the teeth are going to be cooked. Now, I agree with the other part that Rogan was saying, but let's keep going.
I think he went into that fight knowing that was probably going to happen.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the big win for him would be that he was even willing to do it and that he could do well for a little bit.
Yeah, and I've already expressed my thoughts on this. I'm not giving no props for a person who says I am a real deal boxer because I went in and get smashed and got my jaw broken, but I lasted longer than Ngannou. But I was crazy enough to try, because to be honest, we're way past the honeymoon stage with a person like Jake Paul. You've been in this for long enough to go through fight camps, dedicate your time, effort, energy, money, spar with people. You spar with some quality names because you have resources and money or whatever. So we're well past that, to the point where you just get credit for stepping in. You maybe got credit your first fight or whatever, first couple of fights, for coming from your background and, you know, stepping in and fighting, but we're well past that. You have a box rec. You were being ranked by sanctioning bodies.
Eddie Hearn provided a thoughtful analysis of the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight, highlighting the careful planning behind each move in the ring. He explained that the bout progressed precisely according to strategy, with Joshua's team prioritizing patience and controlled aggression over reckless punches. The plan was to systematically challenge Jake Paul, exposing weaknesses and testing his stamina before delivering decisive strikes. Hearn emphasized that this methodical style reflects true professional boxing, where success relies on discipline, timing, and tactical execution rather than sheer power. Every phase of the fight was orchestrated to maintain control while gradually asserting dominance, demonstrating how strategic thinking often outweighs raw strength. According to Hearn, this approach not only secured the victory but also showcased the art of boxing as a careful, intelligent contest, where measured execution and calculated decisions define champions and separate seasoned fighters from novices.
Before the fight, I'm going to break him down, and then I'm going to knock him out. And that's exactly what he did. I thought it'd be all over within 3 rounds. But, you know, when I got in the ring after, because I was shouting, just, you know, anywhere, arms. I got in, he went, what are you rushing me for? And I was like, oh, sorry. So, but like, obviously he knows what he's doing. And actually now quite pleased that we got the rounds, to be honest.
Yeah, I saw you said that. Really random, I was on Twitter and I saw Jake Paul's mum said she wants to get in the ring and punch you. She said she doesn't like the smug look on your face. She is promoting her book, so I'm not sure if she wants, you know. But did you see that? What did you think of that?
No, I was very sad, because I couldn't have been nicer and more respectful of Jake and what he's done. And I think Logan's amazing. I think he's an incredible athlete. And I shook Jake Paul's dad's hand in the ring, you know. And if I would have seen Mum, I would have said, all right. But I think over the years, we've obviously had our beef, and she probably don't like me anyway. And I am probably a little bit smug. I wasn't smug after the fight, because I would have been more smug if it was all over in a round. Yeah. So, no, I'll give Jake respect. And, yeah. Sorry, Jake's mum doesn't like me, but if she can send me a free...
Adam Catterall provided a forthright and candid assessment of the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight, emphasizing the significant imbalance modern boxing faces when popularity influences matchups. He argued that Jake Paul's rapid rise in the sport owes far more to his social media presence and celebrity status than to genuine technical skill or experience inside the ring. According to Catterall, even while deliberately restraining his full strength, Anthony Joshua displayed remarkable control, timing, and precision, landing punches that caused real damage and highlighted the gulf in class between the fighters. This stark contrast sparked speculation that certain aspects of the fight may have been influenced by external pressures rather than purely sporting considerations. Rumors circulated that Jake Paul reportedly attempted to manage or manipulate the pacing of the match to minimize risk and maintain appearances, reflecting broader concerns about celebrity boxing prioritizing spectacle over authenticity. Catterall's observations underscore how modern hype-driven fights can distort competitive integrity, placing the focus on entertainment and marketability rather than skill, strategy, and the traditional values that define professional boxing.
Own credibility, I've got to knock you out, but I've got to try and knock you out where I'm not hurting you as much as what I could if I unleashed. Yeah. And with the punch you said that he landed, it's not his best punch, his most powerful punch, right? Yep. And he's shattered his jaw in 2 places, right? So Anthony Joshua gets his 70 million, whatever it is, But I think he's sitting there thinking, thank God for that. Thank God. On a human level, I've come out, all right, I've sort of, not reputation, but I haven't hurt him as bad as what I could have.
There should be an awful amount of people breathing a massive sigh of relief. Anybody that put that fight together, athletic commissions, like you said.
It wasn't a fight.
No, it wasn't at all. Like you said, it was a prize
Yes.
fight. It was an event. If Anthony damages him, he's got to live with that for the rest of his life.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of stress to deal with, you know what I mean? So I'm sure he's bleeding the side of relief. The team that have put him in there, that have negotiated that for him, but the authorities that put that on and commissioned it as a proper boxing match, I've no doubt.
Does that go on his... Because
yeah, it's a professional boxing
Do you know what? If I was Joshua, I would be saying, I don't want that on my record.
Well,
but for the credibility of them putting the fight on, they would have said to him, no, we've got to say this. It's been commissioned. It's going to be a proper fight. And I found it, I love my boxing, but I just find the whole thing really, really unedifying. You said about get followers. You mentioned Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury is nowhere near his level of getting like a British title fight or whatever. Nowhere near. So it's basically he's like...
Beat Jake Paul.
Well, oh yeah, sorry, yeah, beat Jake Paul. But so
but what I'm saying is that's 100. I stand by that, and I think Tommy would admit that. You know what I mean? To become a British champion is a very prestigious thing to